Welcome to Top Tips. Today we will discuss the 10 blackest cities where black people can be around black people. This list is based on cities with the highest percentages of residents that are black and have a population at least close to 1,500. While cities like Detroit, Michigan and Jackson, Mississippi have a lot of black people, their percentages are lower than the ones on this list. With that said, here are the top 10 blackest cities in America. Number 10. Warrensville Heights, Ohio. Warrensville Heights is an east side suburb of Cleveland with a population of about 13,200. It is located about 20 minutes outside of downtown Cleveland. A little over 91% of the total population is black. If you happen to be a single man, you'll be happy to know that 58% of the population is female. The city has a black mayor, a black police chief, and a black fire chief. You'll find that a majority of public officials in all of the cities listed are black. Most residents enjoy that the community has different events throughout the year and find the people to be generally friendly. One of the few complaints about the area is the occasional crime issues, but all in all, most people think Warrensville Heights is an okay city to live in. Number 9. Shaw, Mississippi. Shaw, Mississippi is a part of the Mississippi Delta region, which refers to the northwest portion of the state. It has a total population that's somewhere between 1,600 and 2,000, with 94.6% of the residents being black. Shaw is named after an old Native American tribe northeast of the region. In 1971, the town was sued for violating the 14th Amendment by not giving as many black-occupied homes equal access to sewers and water pressure as white homes. The plaintiffs won the case, equalizing access to public services. While one resident said the community is very hospitable and kind, it doesn't have many business opportunities in the area. But if you plan to move here, you'll be happy knowing that the median rent is about $518. Number 8. Shelby, Mississippi. Shelby is another city in the northwestern portion of Mississippi. The population is around 1,900, with 95% of the residents being African American. One resident described the place as a small country town. Most of the things you'll need are said to be close by. Much like Shaw, the people are considered to be friendly and kind. Shelby is a relatively safe place, with total crime 38% lower than the national average. Additionally, it's a very affordable city to live in, with cost of living 27% below the national average and housing 64% below the national average. Number 7. Northwoods, Missouri. Northwoods is a suburb of St. Louis with a population a little over 4,100 residents. African Americans make up 96% of the population. The stats are somewhat decent for the city. Cost of living is 8% below the national average, and real estate prices are 51% below the national average. Unfortunately, crime is an issue in the area. The crime rate is 24% higher than the national average. Poverty is also a problem, with median household incomes 32% lower than the national average. I couldn't really find what too many people had to say about the place, but Northwoods is the first of many cities from Missouri on this list. Number 6. Pagedale, Missouri. Pagedale is another suburb of St. Louis that has a population a little over 3,300 people. Blacks make up 96.28% of the residents. In 2015, Pageland made the news for a civil rights class action lawsuit. Residents sued the city for aggressive ticketing to generate revenue. Similar to Northwoods, crime is an issue in the city, with total crime 99% higher than the national average. Despite that, some residents actually describe the area as a quiet place to live. But like with any city, how much crime you're around is all about living in a safe area. Pagedale overall is a very affordable place to live, with cost of living 20% below the national average and housing 54% below the national average. Number 5. East St. Louis, Illinois. East St. Louis is a city that's directly across the Mississippi River, is located in southern Illinois and just a few minutes outside of downtown St. Louis, which is in Missouri. East St. Louis has a rich history of Native American culture. It was one of the most populated places in the 19th century because of its industrial growth. In the 1950s, there was a thriving music scene with acts like Ike and Tina Turner and Miles Davis performing there before gaining national recognition. Sadly, the city experienced financial decline as the industrial industry faded. While residents acknowledge the city has a bad reputation for poverty and crime now, they still have pride in their community and are happy to call East St. Louis home. Number 4. Chula, Mississippi. Chula is located around the middle of Mississippi with a population of over 1,800 people. 98% of the residents in the city are African American. In 2015, an article written about the city noted it was the poorest town in the poorest state in America. Poverty was apparently so bad, even the police chief had to have a second job. Surprisingly, despite the extreme poverty, Chula is actually one of the safest places to live. The violent crime rate is 59% below the national average, and the total crime rate is 41% below the national average. One resident noted that despite the low education system in low-income neighborhoods, the community is very family-oriented. The city is also known for having played a role in the development of blues, being the birthplace of well-known blues artists such as Jimmy Dawkins and Little Smokey Smothers. Number 3. Fayette, Mississippi. Fayette actually has a population a little under 1,500, but for whatever reason, is still referred to as a city. At the time of the 2010 census, the population was over 1,600, but it saw a decline according to the most recent census. 99.21% of the residents are African American. The city has a lot of interesting history, including a robbery that was done by Jesse James, and electing Charles Evers, the brother of assassinated civil rights activist Medgar Evers, mayor of the city. While job employment and schools aren't the greatest, most residents like that Fayette is a small, peaceful place to live. It's a safe community with crime being 46% lower than the national average. Number 2. Pine Lawn, Missouri. I promise this is the last time I'm going to talk about St. Louis in this video, but Pine Lawn is a city a part of St. Louis County and just a few minutes away from downtown St. Louis. It has a population a little over 3,500 residents, with 99.27% of them being African American. Like Pagedale, the city gained media attention for traffic violations being issued by police to generate revenue for the city. After protest, a lieutenant was eventually charged and sentenced to prison time. Beyond this issue, crime is relatively low, with total crime being 8% below the national average. Most residents describe the area as affordable to live and tight-knit. As one resident expressed, people are ready to help others out if they can. And number 1. Mound Bayou, Mississippi. Mound Bayou is probably the coolest town I've ever learned about so far doing these videos. It has a population a little over 1,300 people, and according to the data I found, 100% of the residents are black, making it an all-black town. It was founded as an independent black community in 1887 by the leadership of former slave Isaiah Montgomery. There's so much other history about this city that's too long to get into in one video, but there were many wealthy farmers, thriving businesses, and even low-cost healthcare. Everything was black-run and black-owned, making it a revolutionary city for its time. While the city saw a decline in modern times due to people moving to other cities for more opportunity, it still exists today. If you decide to move there, you'll get the benefit of a low cost of living, a low crime rate, and a nice small town environment. Thanks for watching. This is Top Tips, tipping you off.